Hey guys, what's up? This is Tommy from GI Tactical in Henrico, Virginia. So in the airsoft market, there's a lot of choices going around, and a lot of us don't actually want to pay like more than maybe a couple $100 for a pretty nice airsoft electric gun. There's a lot of options floating on the market. You know, some of them are decent, some of them are great, some of them are bad for money. You don't know where to start. So I'm here today to give you 5 options, at least 5 M4s that I like that are right under around the $200 mark or below, that are really solid for a price. They perform great, they have great value, etc. All that. So we're going to take a look at the first one, which is an ICS M4A1 carbine right here. So this is an ICS rifle. ICS is probably one of my favorite brands on the market right now, just because, for one, they're really durable, robust, and the really cool thing about these guns is that they're really easy to work on. So what I mean by that is, let me show you real quick. So I'm gonna pop this pin out. Alright, so I just got the pin out, and essentially what you can do with most ICS version 2 style rifles is that you can actually pop the upper and lower receiver just like you would with a real AR. Only with this airsoft gun, you can actually work on the upper or lower portions of the gearbox independently. So on the bottom you have all your gears, your trigger contacts, all that stuff. That's independent of itself. And then on the upper you have the spring, the piston, the cylinder, all the stuff that goes along with, you know, your FPS, your compression, things like that. So when one part of your gun breaks down, another part of your gun breaks down, you don't have to open the entire gearbox. You can just work on one portion of it. The gun itself, out of the box, is just solid, it's fantastic. Trigger response is really nice. Rate of fire is really nice as well. So there's really no downsides of this gun. The only downside I could say about this gun is that the polymer on it is a little bit on the cheaper side. It's not the best feeling polymer. It's definitely not the worst, but it could be better, especially given its price range. I believe this gun is priced around $185. Not too shabby for this gun. Oh, jeez. I can't close it. Oh, there we go. I closed it. All right, we're good. So this guy is actually a really new entry to the airsoft market as far as your lower price guns. This is actually the Apex Fast Attack, and I was actually recently able to use one of these guns out to an airsoft field, and I shot about 6,000 rounds through it on a 7.4 and 11.1 wired beams, and on both batteries it performed great. I actually recommend sticking with the 7.4, even though you could use 11.1 on it, but stick with the 7.4. Trigger response and rate of fire is still fantastic on that lower voltage battery. This specific model, the one in my hands, is all polymer. And it only costs $120 or $110 to $120, so it's really affordable. The only caveat about this is that it does not come with a battery or charger. However, honestly, I don't think that should be a con for the most part, just because most of the battery and chargers that come with most guns are not that great. So being able to choose your own battery and charger for this gun is a fantastic option. The cool thing about these guns is currently, as of making of this video, these are actually on sale anywhere between $95 to about $100-ish. So be sure to check this out on our website to see the sale details. You know, this guy disappeared, but one more thing I forgot to mention about these Apex guns is that the motors inside of these actually come with a Costa Company 25K motor. Now, it isn't a neodymium motor, but it is a fairly speedy motor for what it is. And being a speedy motor, it actually has a lot of good trigger response and rate of fire out of the box, even with a 7.4 LiPo. So even though you're getting a gun that's going to be $110 or even below with our current sale price, the rate of fire and trigger response matches even higher quality guns at the $200 and up price point. So these guns, you're getting a lot of great value out of these. Highly recommend one of these. I use these at OXCC in Chesapeake, Maryland, and I actually ran it all day with 6,000 .30 gram BBs through it. Performed no problem. I didn't even use my primary. Just use this all day. So while there are definitely several models of G&G, including this pink one, internally they're all pretty much the same. For the most part, I believe the Raider 2.0s have been updated for a bit, but I don't really know too much about these since they are still relatively new to the market. So my pick for a G&G are these combat machines, R8Ls. The only reason being so is that even though it is a little bit pricier at $190, it does come with a T2 style red dot optic out of the box. Not many guns actually come with an optic out of the box, and the fact that this does come with one in lieu of iron sights is really cool, because my opinion, optics have a better place in airsoft just because you want to see those BBs being traced when you're firing a gun. And the fact that it's easy to dial in, it's easy for newer people to use, and it's easier to use when you have something like a face mask or something on. So the G&G REL gets my pick, around $190, and G&G's reputation precedes them. They've been around for a long time. They're basically the third or back of your truck. They're ready to go, no problems. Plug a battery in, still fires. 1 year later, 2 year later, all good to go. So there you go. My next option, as far as a sub $200 gun, is probably going to be one of the Classic Army ECS rifles that they've recently come out with. Now, Classic Army has had their skirmish rifles for quite a while, so they've basically proven their worth, but these new Classic Army rifles that came out just got even better, and they're actually not even priced that much higher. Your normal skirmish line rifle would typically cost about $165 to $180. These new ones that come with the ECS unit, and by the way, ECS stands for Electronic Control System, actually come with that whole program board inside of it. So all that stuff you get inside the Classic Army Nemesis, the Classic Army Scarab, that typically costs $300 to $400, is inside one of these polymer guns right here. So if you see right here, how you can tell that is typically they have these grips right over here that look a little bit more snazzy. These are basically the quick motor style change systems. They allow you to quickly swap the motor. That's one indication. The other indication is the fact that it has a flat trigger. This is going to be new for 2018. If you roll a semi, you'll be able to hear clicks right here. And that's that little micro switch system that's actually with the ECS style rifles. And with the ECS unit, you can actually do things like 3-round bursts, 5-round bursts. You can log it to semi if you need to. So several cool things. And yeah, that's all I got to say with the Classic Army. Everything else, same internally. But they've updated with a new electronic control system that makes it a really nice gun, and for only $190, which is a great bang for your buck. And last on my list, now I didn't really place these in order from first to last or anything like that. I just kind of placed it in what I liked. And well, no, there's no ranking. I mean, I just listed off top 5 in my head. No top 5. So one of the another few guns on my list is the Tactical MMCs. Now, when I say the MMCs, I mean the normal, non-blowback, sort of under $200 mark. These retail for about $185. And the reason I really like these guns is that the polymer is probably one of the densest that I have felt inside a typical airsoft gun. Like, I felt a lot of polymer guns, G&G, Classic Army, the Apex ones, and out of all the polymers, I think this one's probably the most robust in my opinion. The Lancer Tactical MMCs are actually OEM by Lonex, so that means out of the box you're going to get really good trigger response, really good rate of fire, pretty good hop setting. It actually comes with a rotary style hop up inside of it. I forgot to mention, most of these guns actually came with a rotary style hop up, including the Classic Army guns and Apex and even that new G&G. But I digress. Anyways, so it actually comes with a rotary style hop up inside of it. It's got the Lonex gearbox shell. Everything internally is going to be really sound. Wire to the rear, you got flip up sights, and it's just a really solid gun. Like, it's just really well made. It actually comes with a flash mag, which is pretty unique to all these 3 options. If you don't know what a flash mag is, it's essentially a magazine that instead of winding the wheel, you actually pull a string that's going to wind up that wheel super quick. So you got that going for you. And overall, it's just a really solid gun. And only for $185, you can't really go wrong with this. So yeah, those are my top 5 guns for under $200 in no particular order. Really, any of those guns on the wall that I mentioned are really good options. So definitely check them out. If you have any questions about it, be sure to contact us in the comments or even at airsoftgi.com. I'll see you then.